it might not have been the most breathless transfer window we've seen to date. Women's football generally doesn't do full-on madness, but what we have seen in the winter window is some really good moves, some intriguing moves, and players already settling at their new clubs, getting minutes and having an impact. I think in WSL you can look at sort of rivals like Emily Fox to Arsenal. That's a move that kind of just makes sense. She offers Arsenal something different going forward. She takes some burden off of Steph Catley. She's already had an impact. She's already getting assists and second assists. Looks very set in that way of playing. Then you kind of look at a player like Yuka Mamiki to Leicester. Again, has already just settled into the club, having an impact, getting assists. Now, of course, not every player is going to get assists at their new teams, but you can look at to a player like Nathalie Bjorn and her move to Chelsea, instantly hitting the ground running, instantly getting massive plaudits from Emma Hayes after that first game. Hayes was comparing her to Magda Eriksson, was talking about her leadership, her maturity, how calm she is. You know, then you go into like teams like West Ham, you're looking at bringing in Gory and Mewis, and although Mewis is not fully fit, when she has played, she's had an impact, as has Gory. These are players who are improving the teams they're joining. And then it's about like sort of young players coming through in WSL as well. They're making moves. So someone like Matilda Vin to Spurs, I think that's a really intriguing prospect, is watching this young player develop, and all facilitated by this winter move. But there are sort of moves happening all around the world because it is the transfer window, and another sort of particularly busy market. A little bit surprisingly, we've seen this month has been into Serie A. There's been quite a lot of movement. I think we've seen Madeline Janogy join Fiorentina. We've seen Lina Magol go to Inter. Both, again, quite instant impacts with their new clubs. They're giving a lot to those teams and adding sort of different qualities and talents that these teams didn't have before. So those are really intriguing deals to follow as well. And you've got to look at a player like Rina Chiba to Eintracht Frankfurt. And then given sort of the injuries that Frankfurt have just sustained as well, that's really important that they got that move early in the window. Chiba has plenty of time to settle. Again, it's going to be very interesting watching her develop further in the Frauen Bundesliga. And then there's sort of the loan moves, the needing more minutes. Maybe this player doesn't quite fit in with their club. And that's, you're kind of looking at someone like maybe Viola Cassi from PSG to Juventus. Obviously, you're not getting much in the way of minutes at PSG, but I think that's a move that's really going to work at Juventus for her. And then, you know, like Gio's gone to Madrid, CFF, where she started her career basically. But there's sort of that. I feel like that Gio deal is kind of sort of the worst of the window as well, because it's a great move for Gio. That's minutes, that's time playing, that's what she needs. But this is a player who should have gone on loan at the start of the season, and that fell through. This is a player who spent some last season on loan. This is a player who, yes, she's had some knocks, but there's sort of a question over what Arsenal actually are planning on doing with this player, because they don't have the room in the squad right now. So loaning out makes perfect sense. We've seen Chelsea do that quite a bit. Arsenal themselves have done it this month with Catherine Kuhl, and again that's working well at Everton. But there's the question of what Arsenal want from Gio. I think similarly we've seen Dana move from Man City to BFC this window. That was a move that didn't really work out. Dana never really found her feet in Man City. I think just overall that was just kind of just one for the garbage pile to a degree. It just didn't work. But we know that Dana's a very, very talented player. We saw that football with Atleti. It just never really worked out at Man City. So again, sort of the worst of it. Although hopefully she'll tap back into that form at and we'll see that good football again. And then you've got another puzzling deal, say like McKenzie Hawksby. Joined Brighton in the summer, never gone to the pitch, barely made the bench. And then very early in the window, she went right back to Sydney FC and immediately started playing. So there's just questions of sort of the why and the whats. And sometimes you kind of look at something and say, oh, it's a bad deal. And just to, you know, I think if a player's not fitting in, getting them moved on, whether that's a loan deal or a permanent deal, just it works out best for everyone. But it has been, although not the busiest of windows, I think we have seen a lot of good signings, a lot of very interesting signings, of course, and you've got record signings like Ramirez to Chelsea as well. So I think a lot of signings, although there are sort of some of the players who have a little more experience in their legs, shall we say, there are a lot of young players moving about this window, and that is really exciting to see how they kick on with their development.